Hi, I'm Elle. The funny thing about family is how you can share the same blood and still be strangers. My brother Mason and I grew up thick as thieves. Until we weren't. I never thought sibling rivalry could turn so dark until that day in April when my Subaru's brakes failed on Palisade Mountain. Elle, you need to come to the hospital right now. My best friend Jenna's voice trembled through the phone. She'd been following me up to our weekend hiking spot when it happened. What? Why? What's going on? I was at work, stacking inventory at the outdoor gear shop where I'd been assistant manager for 2 years. It's about your car. There was an accident. I'm with the paramedics. You're lucky I was behind you. My boss, Kevin, waved me off without question when I explained. Family emergency! Go, go! At the hospital, Jenna paced the waiting room, her hiking boots squeaking against the linoleum. Oh my God, Elle! She rushed over, hugging me tightly. The doctor said you've got a concussion and some bruised ribs, but you'll be okay. You don't remember? Remember what? I'm not injured, Jenna. You called me at work. Her face fell. No, Elle, you were driving. Your car went off the road at that hairpin turn. If that guardrail hadn't caught you. She shuddered. They said you might have some short-term memory loss from hitting your head. A police officer approached us, notepad in hand. Miss Winters, I'm Officer Ramirez. Mind if I ask you a few questions about your vehicle? My vehicle? I don't understand what's happening. Your brakes failed completely. The mechanic who towed your car called us immediately. The brake lines were cut, deliberately. The room tilted. Cut? That's impossible. Do you know anyone who might want to harm you, Miss Winters? Before I could answer, my phone buzzed with a text. From Mason. See you never. I showed Officer Ramirez the message. My brother sent this today. We've been fighting over our parents' estate since they died last year. Fighting? How exactly? Officer Ramirez asked, suddenly more alert. He thinks he deserves everything. The house, the money, even Mom's jewelry that was specifically left to me. Last week, the final ruling came through. I got my fair share despite his efforts. Jenna grabbed my hand. Elle, didn't you tell me Mason borrowed your car 2 days ago? Said his was in the shop? Officer Ramirez looked between us. Did your brother have access to your vehicle recently? Yes, I whispered, the realization dawning. He returned it yesterday. I'm going to need his contact information, Officer Ramirez said. My phone buzzed again. A text from Diana, Mason's girlfriend. Elle, we need to talk. Mason's acting weird. Can you meet me? He actually said you wouldn't be a problem anymore, Diana whispered, glancing around the coffee shop nervously. Her blonde hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, dark circles under her eyes. I thought he meant the inheritance stuff was settled. When did he say this? I asked, recording our conversation on my phone with Diana's permission. 2 nights ago, after he brought your car back. He was in the garage for ages before that. Diana's hands trembled around her mug. I saw tools out. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Did you see what he was doing specifically? No, but... Diana hesitated. He's been watching these weird videos about car maintenance. He never cared about cars before. Officer Ramirez sat at the next table, pretending to read a newspaper but listening intently. Diana, I need you to be completely honest with me. Has Mason ever talked about wanting to hurt me? She looked away. He said you stole what was rightfully his, that you turned your parents against him before they died. That's not true. They just saw through him finally. I know, Diana nodded. That's why I'm here. I found these in his search history. She slid her phone across the table, showing screenshots of searches for how to cut brake lines and accidents on Palisade Mountain. Officer Ramirez approached our table. Miss Chen, would you be willing to provide a formal statement? Diana flinched. He'll know it was me. We can protect you, I said, reaching for her hand. You don't know him like I do. When he's angry... Her voice trailed off. My former college roommate Tara, now a lawyer, joined us, setting her briefcase on the table. Sorry I'm late. Traffic was horrible. Diana, this is my friend Tara. She's going to help us navigate this legally. I don't know, Diana started. Mason tried to kill Elle. Tara said bluntly. Are you going to wait until he succeeds with someone else? Maybe you? Diana's eyes widened. I'm not trying to scare you, Tara continued. But this isn't a simple family disagreement. This is attempted murder. He's been getting more controlling, Diana admitted. Checking my phone, questioning where I've been. Classic isolation tactics, Officer Ramirez noted. Will you help us? I asked. Diana took a deep breath. What do you need me to do? First, we need to get you somewhere safe, Tara said. Then everything you know about the day he borrowed Elle's car. My phone rang. Mason. I showed the screen to Officer Ramirez, who nodded. Put it on speaker, he whispered. Hello? I answered, trying to keep my voice steady. Still alive, I see, Mason said coldly. Always were hard to get rid of. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. I saw you with the cops at the hospital. What lies are you telling them now? Mason, I almost died today. Would have saved everyone a lot of trouble if you had, he snapped. Diana gasped audibly. Is that Diana with you? Mason's voice turned dangerous. Diana, are you with my sister right now? Diana froze, her face pale. Mason, you need help, I said firmly. What I needed was what was rightfully mine before you manipulated Mom and Dad into changing their will. They changed it because you stole from them. The business loans they co-signed that you never paid back, the credit cards you opened in their names. Shut up! You always thought you were so perfect. The responsible one. Their favorite. This isn't about favorites. This is about you trying to kill me. Prove it, he snarled, then hung up. Officer Ramirez was already on his radio. We've got enough for an arrest warrant, and he just made a threat on a recorded line. The preliminary hearing was set for Monday morning. I sat beside Tara in the courtroom, watching as Mason was led in wearing handcuffs. He didn't look at me. All rise for Judge Kendrick, the bailiff announced. The evidence against Mason was substantial. Diana's testimony, the mechanic's report confirming the brake lines were deliberately cut, Mason's threatening texts, his recorded phone call, and the search history Diana had provided. Your Honor, Mason's attorney argued, my client admits to sending an inappropriate text message during an emotional family dispute, but vehemently denies any tampering with Miss Winter's vehicle. Then how does he explain his search history? Tara countered. Anyone could have used his computer. Mason finally looked at me, his eyes cold. During the recess, Kevin from the outdoor shop approached me in the hallway. Elle, I'm so sorry this is happening, he said, straightening his tie uncomfortably. I've never worn a suit to court before. Thanks for coming, Kevin. I know this is awkward. Actually, there's something I need to tell you. Mason came into the shop last week asking strange questions about your schedule, specifically when you'd be driving up to Palisade. You never mentioned this. I didn't think anything of it at the time. He said he wanted to surprise you with a hiking gift. Did anyone else hear this conversation? Marissa was working the register. She remembers because she thought it was weird he didn't just call you directly. When court resumed, this new testimony was added to the evidence. Your Honor, Mason's attorney began, my client would like to address his sister directly. The judge nodded. Proceed with caution. Mason turned to me. Elle, this has all been a terrible misunderstanding. I would never hurt you. We're family. The text was just a bad joke about the inheritance being finalized, meaning I wouldn't see you at family events anymore. Please, you have to believe me. Mr. Winters, the judge interrupted. Are you changing your plea? No, Your Honor. I'm innocent. I just want my sister to know I'm sorry for any misunderstanding. Elle, Mason continued, his voice softening. Remember when we were kids? How I always looked out for you? I taught you to ride a bike. I helped you with your college applications. Diana stood up suddenly from her seat. Stop lying, Mason. You told me you were glad she crashed. You said, and I quote, the brake lines were so easy to cut. You bragged about it. The courtroom erupted. The judge banged his gavel. Order! Mason lunged toward Diana. You lying bitch! Officers restrained him immediately. Your Honor, Tara said calmly amid the chaos. I believe Mr. Winters has just demonstrated his temperament quite clearly. Indeed, Judge Kendrick agreed. Mr. Winters will be held without bail pending trial for attempted murder. As they led Mason away, he shouted back at me, "This isn't over, Elle. You've always taken everything from me." I didn't flinch. I didn't cry. I just watched as the doors closed behind him. 6 months later, I stood outside the courthouse after Mason's sentencing. 15 years for attempted murder, with additional charges for tampering with a vehicle and making criminal threats. "You doing okay?" Jenna asked, squeezing my hand as camera flashes lit up the courthouse steps. "Better than I expected," I admitted, watching reporters swarm Mason's lawyer. Part of me thought he'd find some way to escape consequences. He always did growing up. Diana approached, looking healthier than when I'd last seen her. Her eyes were clearer, her posture straighter. I should have noticed sooner. The signs were all there. "You can't blame yourself," I said. "He fooled everyone. Even our parents never saw who he really was until the end." "But I lived with him," Diana insisted. "I saw his rage firsthand. And you testified against him despite that," I reminded her. "That took real courage." Tara joined us, briefcase in hand, her tailored suit a stark contrast to our casual attire. "The restraining order is permanent. He can't contact you even after release. The judge made sure of that personally." "Is it wrong that I feel nothing?" I asked quietly. "Not anger, not relief, just nothing." "It's called closure," Tara said, "and it's perfectly normal." Kevin from the shop hurried over, still wearing his name tag. "Sorry I'm late. The whole team wanted to be here. Marissa's saving us a table at Lenny's if you're up for lunch." "My treat." Detective Ramirez nodded as he passed. "Justice served, Miss Winters. Not all family cases end this definitively." At the restaurant, surrounded by these people who'd stood by me, I finally felt the weight lifting. "I sold the family house," I announced, picking at my food. "Couldn't stay there anymore. Too many ghosts." "Where will you go?" Diana asked, stirring her coffee absently. "Bought a cabin up north, away from mountains and hairpin turns," I added with a grim smile. "It needs work, but that's kind of the point." "Starting fresh," Jenna nodded approvingly. "I've already found hiking trails nearby." "Are you going to visit him?" she asked after a moment of silence. "No," I said firmly, setting down my fork. "Some bridges can't be rebuilt. Some shouldn't be." "He asked about you," Diana said, staring into her cup. "His lawyer told mine he wants to apologize in person, says he's realized what he did." "An apology doesn't undo what he did," I replied. "He made his choice when he cut those brake lines. When he texted, 'See you never.' When he decided my life was worth less than his inheritance." Tara raised her glass. "To moving forward. To justice," Detective Ramirez added. "To second chances," Diana said softly. I looked around at these people who had helped me find justice when my own brother had tried to take everything from me. "To truth," I said, raising my glass. "And to choosing your real family." Later that evening, alone in my apartment surrounded by moving boxes, I found an old photo of Mason and me as children. We were smiling, his arm around my shoulders protectively. I slipped it into the trash without hesitation. My phone buzzed with a text from Jenna. "Cabin's got a fireplace. First snow is next month. We'll be there." I smiled and began to pack away the last remnants of a life I was leaving behind. The rearview mirror showed only what was behind me, and for the first time in months, I was looking forward. Have you ever had to walk away from someone who was supposed to love you? What would you have done in Elle's shoes?